Hey guys, it's Red Spirit. Welcome to the Far Fields guide. So here we are starting at the bench after the deep docks, and we're just gonna head to our right. Make sure you're dashing when you jump over that gap or you will fall into the lava pit. Here are a couple of the new enemies here. They're like these little black ghost things, like plants. They take a couple hits, I think 3 hits at this point, and yeah, they kind of just float around mindlessly, so they won't come at you or anything. A little deeper in, we see the ants with the throwing knives, so look out for those. And then there's going to be a new ant enemy here coming up. But these guys do drop rosaries at least, so we're going to keep on heading this way. And now we have like this skull helmet ant. He's got a couple of different attacks. He'll jump up and stab at you, he'll dash across, and then he'll swing his sword about 3 times. He's a little bit tough, especially with the other one behind him. So Silk Spear works good for killing the other one pretty quick, and then also weakening this one. And then once we take care of them, we head to our right. We're going to be heading up here, but I believe first there's a little stone shard thing that I'm going to show you guys where it's at. It's on the other side of this, you can kind of see it. So we'll jump across here. We're going to jump up, and now you can get these shards. So over here is an area that we will be going to later, because there's still more stuff in this room that we need to get. So we're gonna head back over to where we fought the ants. We're gonna do like a little bit of backtracking kind of throughout this video, so bear with me on that. You have to dash jump across these gaps, a lot of them, so we're heading on the top right, the top left path here. We're gonna be looking for a flea. So if you don't care about the flea, you can skip forward a little bit, but the flea is up this way. So over on the right here is a false wall that we can break. So now in this area, we're gonna climb up. Look out for the spikes down there. Yeah, so in that pathway to our right here, we're gonna get trapped by an ant. So break out, just bust out of the trap, beat the ant, and then you can see the flea over there in the other trap. Poor flea. Go ahead and hit that a couple times. We bust him out, and then we've got our flea for the area. There's only one flea in this area. Then if you want to jump across from there, you can fight another ant and get some rosary beads. After we get that stuff, we're going to continue on up. It's kind of going to wrap us back around. To the left here is another skull ant. You don't have to fight, but if you want some more rosaries, you can. They are a little tough to fight, I won't lie. But after you do that, head back over here. So first we're going to take this path to the left because there's some more rosaries we can grab. It's not really necessary if you don't need the rosaries, but we need the rosaries, you know what I'm saying? Gotta buy our bug stuff with beads. Then we can hop across to our right. dash on across. Now this is like the main column, I guess, of the area. We're gonna drop down, grab these rosaries. There's a new enemy to fight. It's like these big flying bugs. They kind of go nuts. They aren't too hard to kill though. So these red rocks, you are gonna want to hit them for later because we're gonna get an ability in this area that's gonna let us ride these like drafts. Down here, when you hit this one, it's gonna open up the ground. That room we're gonna go in a little bit later. There's nothing in it but ants if you want to go ahead and go in. Also, the bell station is to the right there if you want to go ahead and hit it. Through this area, it'll just take you all the way back to the bench that we started at. So go ahead and hit that if you need to and save. And then we're gonna come back to here. And then we're gonna keep going down and we're gonna find another little hidden passageway. So here's our pipe that we're gonna enter. We can jump through the ceiling right here. Fight this little guy, and then up at the top there we can grab an item. Now we have the warding bell. And then over here there's also a place where we can break the wall and it'll give us a secret entrance to deep docks. And this is a really tricky area. So for one thing, there's the fire slugs that will take 2 hits of health unless you have the magma bell. So watch out for those guys. And then so we've got these other new guys that are pilgrims, kind of like the other flying pilgrims, except these ones drop bigger bombs. But at the end there, as you saw, you're gonna break that the wood, the planks at the end, so you open up the path. Then we're gonna continue in this way, and there's gonna be 2 flying guys. So you're gonna see me die, but if you open this chest, you can get a craft metal, and that's all we're gonna get here. Unfortunately, I died, but yeah, just exit back out the way you came in if you don't die, or if you do die, as long as you get the craft metal, then so we're actually not gonna head in this room. There's a room above this, so we're gonna head back, and this is where we're gonna find chakra in the map for the area. So go ahead and talk to Chakra. Here I buy the map and then I buy the last pins that I needed. So I bought out her whole inventory up until this point. So if you have enough rosaries, go ahead and do that. But once we leave her, then we're gonna head into that other room that we had running. So there's a bone bridge at the bottom that we're going to be following. In the background right here is a robot, and we'll learn more about that later. So now in this room, we see these like hanging platforms all over the place. So this is going to be an important area. We're going to go ahead and jump down, trying to avoid the lava. We're going to head across. There's some more flying bugs all in this area. Once we take care of them, we're going to head across to the far right. And then we're going to jump back over. We find the entrance to like a hut. So in here we have another bench we can rest at to save and set our spawn. And we're going to talk to this lady called the Seamstress, and we're going to take this quest from her, or wish from her, to get 25 spines, which are items that are dropped by a certain enemy. And I think you can only get them here. We're going to need to get them anyways, but so if you head to the right and drop where I just dropped at, that's like a secret path. where we can get a rosary string, and it's gonna enter us into the next room. So there's a couple pilgrims in here. And we're picking up the pilgrim shawls from the other quest that we got in Moss Grotto. But these guys right here are the ones that drop the spines. So try to get as much as you can. You have to like smack them out of the ground before they disappear. So you should be able to get all the spines you need by going through this area like once or maybe twice. We're gonna be heading to the right a little later. But for now we're gonna keep heading up and fighting these guys. Grabbing every little spine that we can get. So up here we can bust this glowing rock out the wall, and it drops some shell shards. That's all it drops. And we got some rosary beads to our left here. Grab some more rosaries, and then we're gonna go back down and hit that rock. So avoid the lava in this room. Now we have these glowing rocks above us that you can knock down on the enemies if you want to. So here's two new pilgrim types. We have one that flies and we've got one big one that rolls. But they're both easily dodgeable just by jumping. It took me a while to get used to the flying ones. They're kind of fast, but you can just jump over them. So we have some more spine core dudes in here. If you want to jump across to your right, you can dash and jump over there. It's just, I think another pilgrim or two and some more rosaries. So we need 25 spine cores in order to make the upgraded cloak. And that's what's gonna let us kind of glide through those updrafts. So we're gonna jump up here, kill this plant bug, then knock that thing down to bust the bridge, and then we'll fall through. At this point, I already have enough spines, so that's why I didn't grab any more spines. But we're pretty much going to be making our way back, now that we do have the spines, to the Seamstress, and she is going to be able to upgrade our cloak. So we can go ahead and resave our game if we want to, and then talk to the Seamstress, turn in our mission, give her the 25 spine cores, and she is going to upgrade our cloak. So now we have received the Drifter's Cloak. It's going to let us glide and also ride the updrafts. So the first ones we're going to use are in the other room that we were in. And there's like a key item we can get from this way. So we're going to go to the second one to our right after we get rid of this Pilgrim. So you jump and then you press jump again. Smack that rock up there. Once it blows up, ride back up there and jump into the hole. And we find a bone scroll that we will be using later on. So now this time we're gonna ride this first one here. And you have to kind of like jump into the next one. When you get to the top, we're gonna be hitting these rocks as we go up here. Go up from this first one and glide over to the next one. Then we can double back. So we can hit that one, drop down, jump back up. And now we can enter through this top area here. Release the draft by hitting that explosive rock. And we are going to get something that is really handy over here. So for one thing, we can fill our silk up a little bit right here. Then we're going to jump down, smack these rocks. So now that updraft is going to allow us to get up high enough to hit the rock in the ceiling there. And we get a master shard. So now that we got that, we can head back out of here. It's just a little master shard area. So I go to save my game real quick before we leave this area. You can also do that if you want to. But then we're just gonna head over to our left, where we entered the area from, into the next room. So this second updraft, we're gonna follow up through the ceiling, and we're gonna need this. Trust me, you'll see why. So then when we jump out of there, we're gonna jump back across, and here's the robot that we saw earlier. So this is a boss fight called the Fourth Course. Basically, you just want to smack his head as many times as you can. So those are his two main attacks. The smash down that will destroy the ground. So you're going to have to like glide across and make use of that glide. And his other one is a swipe that you can jump over. You can either silk spear him when he drops down like that, or use it as a time to heal. And then yeah, you can just keep smacking his head. This is his third and final attack, pretty much. Is he smacks the ceiling and makes lava rocks fall. They're pretty easy to dodge. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the easier bosses in my opinion. You just keep on smacking his head. He's easy to dodge. Once you beat him so many times, like once his head drops so many times, you'll see the updrafts like open on the side. So you're gonna ride them up and smack those rocks on each side. And after that, it's gonna drop the thing on his head. And that's it. He's dead. By far, man, I mean, he's about as easy as the Moss Mother boss. Like, he's nothing. So after you beat him, go ahead and head off to the left. And now we can ride these on up. So once you get to the top here, ride back across and glide. And we can grab these rosary beads. And then we're gonna go right back over where we just jumped from. But now we can ride up through this room. So now I'm gonna go open the bell station. So here you can unlock the bench if you want. It's 30 rosaries. And then the bell station itself, I believe, is 40 rosaries. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and go back to Bone Bottom and do whatever you need to do. But we will be going back there at the end as a little bonus because there's something we can get there now that we have the glide. But we're getting to that. I'll show you some other stuff first. So exiting the bell station, we're going to continue our way up. To our right here is the door that we passed a little earlier. Doesn't have anything in it except a couple ants. And they are training in here, so you can kill them if you want to for a little bit more rosaries. And then we're just going to keep riding up. So then we can head into this room with the bench sign. There's a lore tablet. We find Sherma here. And I think this area is called the Pilgrim's Rest. So you can go ahead and talk to Sherma if you want. And then over here is a door. So you have to pay 30 rosaries to get in. And then it'll close again if you don't break the gear at the top here. So if you just break that gear, it'll never close again. So we can save at this bench. This guy Mort has some stuff we can buy if you have enough rosaries left, which I don't at this point. But yeah, this is a vendor that we can come back to later. If you land on this, it knocks it down to the bottom and it'll allow you to jump up so that we can hit a lever. This lever is going to open the updraft to allow us to go even higher. Smack the orange stone. Look out for these flying bugs. So basically, if we continue going up to the top, where we're about to find ourselves, it's gonna bring us to the entrance of the next area, or one of the next areas. The next area I'm gonna do is the Hunter's March, but this will bring us to, I think it's called Greymoor. And so I'm gonna backtrack. I would suggest you go ahead and go up right there and at least get into the area, and then you can backtrack, because once we get to Bone Bottom, if you go to the job bulletin, you can get a couple more jobs after you've entered Greymoor, at least once. So I would do that. But then if you want, you can follow me back to Bone Bottom. We're going to go back up this elevator to the left, if you remember that from Moss Grotto. And then we're going to just keep hopping up. And it was this area where we couldn't really reach anything from before, but now that we have the glide, we can glide across. There is, I think, an optional boss. And so if you want, you could try to fight him. I probably wouldn't suggest it. but we're just gonna run all the way to the end here. There is an area you can open with a key if you have one. That will give you a tool. But if you jump down into the water here, you can break this wall and find a second master shard now. So that is pretty cool. And pretty much that's all I got for you guys on this video. I will run back through here and you'll see why I'm not fighting this guy anymore. Or yet. We'll come back to this later. 2 massive damage from 1 hit. And he is so fast. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.